Alright, let's talk about Momentus, ticker symbol MNTS. If you've been anywhere near StockTwits lately, you've probably seen it. Momentus has been gaining a surge of attention and the stock has been moving fast. The kind of sudden volatility that immediately pulls in retail investors. It's up 56% today alone, reaching as high as 99% growth from its starting point of $6.18 this morning, all the way up to nearly $12 per share. That's insane. Some are calling it a low float rocket. Well, maybe that's just me. Others are whispering short squeeze. A few are already framing it as the next big space breakout that everyone missed the first time around. And at first glance, you can understand why. Momentus announced a 3D printed fuel tank scheduled for flight testing on its upcoming Vigoride 7 mission. That's real hardware, real space technology, exactly the kind of headline that ignites speculation in small cap space stocks. But then, almost immediately, the company followed that news with another announcement, a $5 million private placement. And just like that, sentiment split. Some traders said this is exactly what they needed. Others said, here comes dilution. So today, instead of reacting emotionally like the timeline does, we're going to slow this down and ask the harder questions. Is Momentus actually making meaningful progress, or is this just another microcap caught between promise and survival? What Momentus actually does. To understand why this stock is so polarizing, you first have to understand what Momentus is trying to be. Momentus isn't a rocket company. They don't compete with SpaceX on launches. Instead, they're focused on what happens after the rockets leave Earth. Their core product is an orbital service vehicle called Vigoride. The concept is simple in theory, but extremely difficult in practice. Once payloads are deployed into orbit, Momentus wants to help move them, host them, reposition them, and manage logistics in space. Think of it as infrastructure inside orbit, the plumbing and trucking system of low Earth orbit. The next major step in that plan is Vigoride 7, which the company has said is targeting launch aboard SpaceX Transporter 16 mission, no earlier than March 2026. That mission matters because Momentus is still very much in the prove it phase. At this stage, credibility doesn't come from slide decks or press releases. It comes from hardware that actually survives launch, operates in orbit, and does what the company says it can do. Momentus announced that it developed a 3D printed propellant tank manufactured using additive manufacturing technology from Velo 3D, and that this tank is scheduled for flight testing on Vigoride 7. That might sound like a small detail, but it isn't. Fuel tanks are not cosmetic components. They're mission-critical hardware. They must withstand extreme pressure, vibration, temperature swings, and launch stress. If a fuel tank fails, the mission fails. Full stop. Additive manufacturing has become increasingly important in aerospace because it allows engineers to design shapes and internal structures that traditional manufacturing simply can't achieve. Fewer welds mean fewer failure points, and faster iteration cycles can significantly shorten development timelines. Momentus has worked with Velo 3D before, so this isn't a brand new partnership. What's different this time around is tying that manufacturing effort to an actual flight test rather than a lab-only demonstration. That said, this announcement doesn't mean that Momentus has solved propulsion manufacturing forever. It doesn't mean mass production, and it doesn't mean immediate revenue. It means a test. In aerospace, tests still count as progress, but progress is not the same thing as commercial success. Now, let's talk about why MNTS is moving the way it is, because this has less to do with space headlines and more to do with structure. In mid-December 2025, Momentus implemented a 1-for-17.85 reverse stock split. The company disclosed that this significantly reduced the number of shares outstanding, creating a much tighter share structure. That single change alters how the stock behaves. When shares outstanding drop sharply, liquidity thins out. Order books become shallow. Relatively small trades can push the price far more than they normally would. Headlines don't just influence sentiment. They physically move the market. That's why MNTS feels jumpy. That's why it gaps hard. And that's why every tweet seems to ripple through the chart. You're not watching a normal stock. You're watching one where structure magnifies every reaction. And then came the financing announcement. The private placement that split the crowd. Momentus announced a $5 million private placement with a single institutional investor, priced at $5.40 per share. The deal includes just under 926,000 shares of common stock, along with warrants for the same number of shares, also exercisable at $5.40. Those warrants can't be exercised, however, until shareholder approval is received, and they expire 5 years after initial exercise. If you don't know what stock warrants are, we have a great video on stock warrants, one of the most popular ones on YouTube, so go check that out. And while I have you here, if you're enjoying this video, go ahead and like it. It will help me tremendously and it costs you nothing. Let's get back to Momentus. The company also disclosed amendments to certain existing warrants, lowering their exercise price, again subject to shareholder approval. This is the moment where sentiment truly fractured. Funding cuts both ways. On one hand, Momentus is a capital-intensive business. Space hardware is expensive, missions are expensive, cash buys time, and without time, nothing else matters. On the other hand, dilution is real. New shares increase supply, warrants introduce future supply, and in a stock with an already tiny float, that matters a lot. This isn't about whether raising money is good or bad, it's about timing, structure, and how much risk investors are willing to accept for execution that hasn't fully happened yet. Now, for the short squeeze narrative. Once a low float stock starts moving this quickly, the phrase short squeeze is inevitable. Here's the reality. Short interest data following a reverse split is often messy. Different market data providers calculate float and outstanding shares differently, and those adjustments don't always update cleanly or at the same time. As a result, reported short interest figures for Momentus vary widely depending on the source. Some make it look modest, others make it look extreme. The takeaway isn't a single magic percentage. It's simpler than that. With a tight share structure, elevated attention, and conflicting data, MNTS is vulnerable to sharp moves in either direction, whether driven by short covering, momentum trading, or sudden shifts in sentiment. That doesn't guarantee a squeeze, but it does explain why price action can feel exaggerated and unpredictable. Where does Momentus fit in the space landscape? To really understand Momentus, you also have to understand who it's competing against, because this is not an empty field. Momentus operates in what's broadly called in-space transportation and orbital logistics. That includes moving payloads after launch, repositioning satellites, hosting payloads, and eventually enabling servicing or maneuvering in orbit. One of the most direct competitors in the space is D-Orbit. D-Orbit operates as ION's satellite carrier, which already flies missions that deploy and maneuver customer payloads in low Earth orbit. Unlike Momentus, D-Orbit has logged multiple successful missions, giving it a clear execution advantage. But it's also a private company, so public investors can't directly participate. Another important player in the broader in-space transportation category is Impulse Space, founded by former SpaceX propulsion chief Tom Moeller. Impulse focuses on high-energy orbital transfers and deep space mobility. While it targets more ambitious missions than Momentus, it competes for the same long-term vision, becoming the logistics backbone of space. It's also private and far better funded. You also have companies like Exotrail, which provides space transportation and mission optimization services using its space van vehicles. Exotrail has already completed operational missions in orbit, reinforcing that this market is moving from theory into practice. Then there are hybrid competitors. Rocket Lab, for example, isn't just a launch company anymore. Through its full-time spacecraft platform, Rocket Lab offers satellite buses and mission services that overlap with some of the functionality Momentus is targeting, especially for customers looking for end-to-end solutions from launch through operations. When you zoom out and look at public market valuations, the scale gap becomes impossible to ignore. Momentus trades as a true microcap. Its market value sits in the low single digit to low tens of millions of dollars, depending on daily price swings. That alone tells you how fragile sentiment and liquidity are. Now, contrast that with Rocket Lab, which trades at a multi-billion-dollar market capitalization, reflecting years of flight heritage, diversified revenue streams, and deep institutional ownership. Even though Rocket Lab isn't a direct one-for-one competitor, the valuation contrast matters. It shows what public markets are willing to pay for proven execution in space and how little they're willing to pay for unproven execution. Momentus isn't being compared against startups on pitch decks. It's being compared implicitly against companies that already fly, already deliver, and already generate revenue. That puts the pressure squarely on execution. Execution matters more than vision. Hardware matters more than hype. And capital discipline matters more than excitement. Right now, Momentus is still trying to prove it can consistently fly, operate, and monetize its technology. Retail sentiment versus reality. Scroll through StockTwits and you'll see two parallel conversations happening at the same time. One side sees a low float space stock with a real technical milestone and believes this is the moment it finally clicks. The other side sees a history of capital raises, dilution risk, and unproven execution, and believes this is just another temporary spike. Neither side is crazy. This tension is exactly what creates explosive volatility, not fundamentals, not valuation models, but conflicting narratives fighting over the same thin supply of shares. So where does this leave Momentus right now? The company did announce a legitimate technical development. It did tie that development to a future flight mission, and it did raise capital to keep operating. At the same time, MNTS is not a clean, settled long-term investment story yet. It's a high-risk, structure-driven trade layered on top of an early-stage space execution story. Until Momentus, the business, proves it can repeatedly fly, operate, and generate sustainable revenue, this stock will continue to live and die by headlines, structure, and sentiment. Sometimes that creates opportunity. Sometimes it creates traps. Knowing which one you're dealing with matters more than the hype. So now I want to hear from you. Do you see Momentus as a misunderstood space infrastructure play that's finally turning the corner, or as another microcap where dilution eventually catches up to optimism? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this breakdown helpful, consider liking the video to help it reach more investors. Thanks for watching. I'm Lincoln with bullacademy.org. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.